And I'll let it slide for today. I know. Man, and I'm trying to get the same people who are coming, you know, every day. All right, sorry for the delay. I call this meeting to order at 5:07 p.m. It was in the Lewis and Lewis and fight song, please. All righty, we want a roll call. Go ahead, Jella.
President Colquitt. Vice President Bell. Treasurer Ononga. Chief of Staff Kowa. Deputy Chief of Staff Moore. Director Hammond. Assistant Director Dobbins. Director Sani.
Present.
Assistant Director Bacha.
Present.
Director Bottle. Assistant Director Parker. Director Torre.
Present.
Assistant Director Campbell.
Present.
Director Farmer.
Present.
Assistant Director Johnson.
Present.
Director Johnstone. Assistant Director M. Kambuzi. Director Edwards.
Present.
Assistant Director Dixon.
Present.
Director Thompson. Here.
Present.
Oh. Assistant Director Moore. Director Etienne. Assistant Director Fletcher. Director Lusanya.
Present.
Assistant Director Abdul.
Present.
Director Adewale. Assistant Director Ajayi.
Present.
Director Brown.
Present.
Representative Moore.
Present.
Representative Tang. Representative Linsky.
Present.
Representative Lewis. Representative Johnson. Representative Entwistle.
Present.
Representative Thompson.
Present.
Representative Robinson. Y'all killing me. Designer Gakpo. President Pro Tempore Rhymes.
Present.
Hello. Senator Charles Durham. Appropriations Chair White. Senator Liu.
Present.
Senator So.
Present.
Senator Aguzmezi. Senator Chen.
Present.
Government Operations Chair Crosby.
Present.
Senator Uma.
Present.
Senator Holland. Senator Bentu.
Present.
Senator Jackson.
Present.
Senator Weems. Senator Gentry. Senator Thatch.
Present.
Senator Vivian Wilson.
Present.
Deputy Chief Justice Olaniyan.
Present.
Chief Justice Bennett.
Present.
Associate Justice Sonia. Yay, we're all here.
All right. Going to the approval of the minutes. Seeing none. All right, people moving. Appropriations check.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm moving to strike through from letter B all the way down to letter U today. Letter H, number 9 as well. And I so move. Ask for a second. So for the records, that is letter B through U, H, and number 9, which is opinions of the court. It's been probably second. That's.
Well,
You can open for the debate afterwards.
well, since it was moved to a second, I suppose it goes into the suspension in the vote, so.
I can explain to you why I did it.
Register what?
Mr. Chairman, I just, to give you an explanation of why I did that, we have some guest speakers back here and some public, members of the public here. Give us enough time as the Senate to ask questions to our guest speakers. This way we're not in a time crunch. I do believe it's parking that is here with us today.
We can still move forward with having everybody do remarks. It's a 2-hour time slot for us to discuss information. Well, it doesn't take 2 hours to get through public participation and guest speakers more than likely. If we take an hour, remarks take 30 minutes, which means that's 6:30, which means it's 30 minutes to remain, which means we got out here early still. So with that, I recommend that we continue as planned. And we don't have no legislation on the docket, which means another free moment. We don't have time to waste. So yes, I recommend after you all vote on this motion that we continue business as normal and, get through this. Thank you.
Well, Mr. Chair, I thank you for your recommendation. And yeah, so I leave it to the Senate. I'm good with, I'm content either way. I call the question.
All right, the call to question was seconded.
Yes.
Okay, and with that, we can now move into a vote on the recommendation for the amendment to the agenda. I apologize. All those in favor of striking letters A through HH? A through U.
And leaving representative.
Okay, all those in favor of striking A through HH, U and 9?
A through U.
A through U and HH and 9. Okay, say it one more time. All those in favor of striking letters A.
I do believe that's.
Thank you.
That's the one to hear from me.
All those in favor of striking letters B through U, HH, and number 9.
Yeah.
All those opposed.
We're in a vote now, y'all, so just to have some more clarity, since a lot of confusion just came out of nowhere. We're striking appropriations committee through the Department of Nutrient Development. And then we will continue talking from letter V to the freshman council. They will speak. And then we will cancel out my remarks. We will continue with the opinions of the court. Striking letters A through U, B through U, I'm sorry. Then striking HH through 9. Correct. Yeah.
Point of information to the Senate. The amount of confusion that this motion just caused, for future reference, let's not second things we don't know what's going on.
Point of order. Point of order.
Oh, shit.
First off, that was incredibly inappropriate statement to make to another colleague across the country. You very clearly inappropriately commented to inappropriately make.
I'm asking point of order.
I'm clarifying the rule, which is wrongfully assuming the idea of a member of this body, which is against our rules.
So now, point of inquiry. Senator Liu, did you know what you were seconding?
Yeah.
Tell me, please.
Point of order. Why is this debate? Like,
I'm just making sure.
We are literally tearing down our colleague for second.
I'm not tearing, I'm just wanting to make sure that he knows people. It's not tearing down.
Exactly what you know about.
Can you repeat your question again, Vice
Could
President
you
Bell?
just tell me what you said?
Don't worry about that, Senator Lou. Let's just move into the vote. All those in favor of the amendment to the agenda?
Tearing down your colleague.
All those opposed to the amendment to the agenda? All those abstaining? And with that, the motion is died.
Just sat there and turned
Thank
it
you.
down for nothing. This was exactly.
Excuse, point of order, you don't have the right to talk on the floor right now.
Point of order.
Moving to continue, are there any guests? We have a guest speaker, we have Director of Parking and Transportation, Pamela Mooney. We would like to welcome her to the floor.
Evening, everybody. Good evening. Thank you for inviting us to enlighten you on some of our operations and what we do for the campus. Hi. I love the outfits and the costumes. So what I'd like to do tonight is wanted to give you a quick overview of what our operations do. We are parking, transportation, and postal services. All three are under the same department. Right? So next slide, please. The objective of our operations, we are here to serve the campus community, in particular the students. Our primary goals are to make sure that we provide safe, efficient, dependable, and reliable services, whether it be for parking so that you can safely get around campus, be able to get into a space when you bought a parking permit. From the shuttle side of things, that it's safe, it's timely, and that it's reliable for you. Okay, we know you're using it to get to classes and to and from other areas. We also, from the postal services, we want to help ensure that we're doing timely and accurate delivery of resident packages and mail, as well as our department mail. Right? So how we try to do that is to do things as efficiently and effectively as we can. Next, please. All right, parking and transportation. Transportation, just to let everybody know, we provide regular services for ridership on our routes. That we have one campus and all campus routes that we run. Our ridership this year is up 12% from last year. So, and we're handling that fairly well. We've had the biggest increase has been through the West Village, the one campus, as well as we had a fairly big increase on the Goucher route. We have found that the routes are being handled with the buses that we have there. It's at times we may have some runs that go through West Village that there may be full buses, but we have another bus within 5-10 minutes behind it. Goucher route, we found that we did have a smaller bus on that because last year we did not have a lot of people. We have found this year that there are more people that are riding the Goucher route. So about late September, we added and put on a larger bus, which since then has been handling the demand. Our future plans, we will always, every year, we look at our routes to see whether or not we need to change them. Sometimes we cut them back because there's not much ridership, or we may have duplicate services in some of the routes. Some of the routes that we discontinued last year because of the Baltimore County Loop coming into place. It's your money that supports the program, so we didn't feel it was appropriate to spend a significant amount of money running a route that's already being run by the county that had longer hours and more frequency. So we'll continue to look at that and stops and the size of the vehicles that we have on there. The other thing that's on the sort of long range planning is you all may or may not be aware that the state of Maryland has mandated that all state vehicles go to electric by 2035. So we will be looking at that as well. It's a few years off, but it'll be here very, very quickly. So we're always looking at that aspect of things as well. Because eventually we'll have all electric buses. Okay, so that's the transportation shuttle side of things. Parking, this year, our parking permit sales are down about 5%, primarily for commuter students. We're seeing a little bit of an uptick in the semester permits versus the annual, so that may balance it out. We'll have to see how that goes second semester. Space availability is doing really well. We have space in all the garages for core commuters, except for Glen Garage from about 10 to noon. That garage does fill, and it's because we've got the massive science buildings there. So that's the only one that is filling on us, and it's only for a couple hours. So if you come in during that time, then we just go right to the Townsendtown garage or the Union garage. Okay, that's not going to change a whole lot. All right. Space counter, you know, we did a pilot not too long ago in Townsendtown garage to see how the spaces, being able to monitor the turnover of spaces as well as display with the availability of spaces on the two sides that are outside. That has gone well. It's been well received. We are in the process of adding counters to the Glen and the Union garage as well. We hope to have them in and operational at the start of the spring semester. Okay, so be looking for that and the signs that are out there so that when you pull up to the Glen garage, if you're at that peak time, you can see right away there's no spaces left. Just keep on going to the next garage and don't waste time there. All right. It also gives a better idea of when the peaks are and if we need to make some adjustments and if we can use parking in the areas in a little bit different fashion and optimize the use of that. The citations, which sort of goes hand in hand with the permit sales being down, citations are up primarily for not having a permit and for parking in the wrong place. So it's not uncommon for that to occur in the beginning of the semester, and after people get enough tickets, then they find that it is more financially, fiscally responsible for them to buy a permit, and they'll buy permits a little bit later, and then the tickets will go down. So that's where we stand on the parking side of things. Pretty status quo, going pretty well on that end. Our long-term plans, as I indicated, is the space counters that we'll be putting them in. And we're also working with facilities and Baltimore, or BG&E, to do a consulting project on sustainability for the entire campus as part of this conversion that's going to have to be done with the state mandates and some of the federal mandates. That in particular from our ends, where we're going to be looking at is EV chargers. Where they are, how they're used, how long should people be able to stay there, should we charge for them? So that's going to be a part of it. And they're actually in the process of starting that project up now. We hope to have a report in sometime during the spring semester. So that'll be part of our long range planning. All right, postal services. I know that's been a hot topic this year. Okay. So one of the things that we noticed with the postal services is that we continue, and we have been seeing for probably the past 6 to 8 years, a significant increase in packages. Everybody's on Amazon. Everybody wants their package yesterday, even though they just ordered it. So that we have transitioned. We at one point were probably about 60% packages, 40% mail. we're probably in the ballpark of 95% packages, and the rest is letter mail, very little letter mail. Packages are big, there's a lot of them, and they all have to be processed. So the dynamics of postal services, whether it be us or anyplace else, has changed drastically. From last year, you can see the stats on the right, that last year we had about 19,000 packages from the beginning of August through October 20th. This year, we've had 25 plus, 31% increase in packages. That's huge, okay? We do continue to shift away from regular mail. We had an inconsistent process for delivering packages and mail in the previous years. One of the things with the changes that we did of having everything centralized was so there was consistency. Part of the campus got deliveries, part of the campus didn't get deliveries for a variety of different reasons. So part of what our changes are is we switched over and have everybody going through a centralized location. We also have seen that third-party delivery services can be inconsistent and inconsiderate at times. Some of the packages we get delivered, we had, I think, 20 packages delivered to the Newell Dining loading dock one day. We came in and somebody from Newell called us and said, there's a bunch of packages here. There's a tendency of some carriers on university property means it's delivered. They don't care where they leave it. So they do a thing saying it's been delivered and we have not seen it at all. So we run into that and we have to process and try and get those packages. So sometimes we don't see them. And that's one of the things that we're trying to deal with. There's also somewhat of an unrealistic expectation of immediate turnaround. Our process in the post office is the carrier brings stuff to us, whether it's UPS, FedEx, or one of the other carriers. They bring stuff into the postal services. They may bring 4 packages, they may bring 300 packages. They deliver all day long. We then have to go through all those packages, sort them between department and residents, and then we have to scan them to make sure we're getting the right John Smith that's going to get their package, because we have an obligation to make sure that you get your package. So there is a process, there is a delay. Okay, so keep that in mind. Residential students and faculty staff have different needs. So we have to meet and be able to service both of those areas. Just a little fun fact, I figured I'd show you one of the deliveries that we had to deal with about a week ago. 2 full-size auto tires. There's all kinds of crazy stuff that comes through. So that's the type of stuff that we have to deal with at times. Next slide. All right. One of the things that we did along with the change of moving everybody and having everybody come from a centralized location is that we have, as a campus, made a significant investment into locker systems. They allow you to come get your packages pretty much anytime you want. Our front office is only open from 9 to 4, and everything had to go through there before. You can now use the package lockers that are in the union garage. They're owned by the university, and they are available 7:30 in the morning until 11:30 at night. Anytime the union is open, you can get your package. All right. So we've improved accessibility, timeliness. Instead of having several people go deliver to the residence halls, that would take 4 or 5 hours, make all the deliveries and all the sorting and everything. Those people are now able to stay basically in the operation, scan the packages, and routinely be loading lockers. So that helps us more routinely and quickly get things out, because if stuff came in the afternoon in the past, we made one delivery, it had to wait. Prior years, we were doing deliveries 1 to 2 days after we got them from the carrier. So you get your notice from the carrier, and then 1 to 2 days later, you get a notice from us that it's ready to be picked up. And you had to come get it between 9 and 4. We are now, other than peak, because all bets are off during peak, but within about a week of the start of the school, we are now processing, with very few exceptions, same day and next day. So if something comes in the morning, probably gonna end up in a locker and be available by that afternoon. Latest we're seeing now is that something comes in later in the afternoon, may not be available until the next morning, but it beats 1 to 2 days. Okay, so that's where we are. Most packages we can accommodate in the locker, so you can come get them at your convenience, except for tires. And we now have a consistent process for everybody on the campus. So you will see TU now has 42 lockers on campus. As of yesterday, we just brought in and opened up the 85 lockers in the Union Garage. Come in the ground level, they're on the right-hand side, 24/7. You can get them anytime you want. Okay, so it gives that much more accessibility and gives us that many more lockers to have people be able to go to. Amazon, we are in the process. We've been approved by Amazon. We've been approved by the university. We're now just waiting on Amazon's schedule to do installation of lockers in the Union Garage, West Village Garage, and 10 West. Okay, Amazon is very restrictive of how many they'll let you start out with, so we won't get a whole lot to begin with. They want to see what the usage is. If you really want to get your package right away, as soon as that carrier sends your notification, when you go into Amazon, select Amazon as your delivery company, you'll see a drop down once they're installed. That'll show the Amazon locker locations on our campus. Select that. They'll deliver right there. As soon as they send their message to you, then you can get it. It's not going through us. Okay, so be on the lookout for TU Todays and emails and stuff of when the Amazon comes in. The more you use them, the more they'll put in, the more direct, quick access you'll get to them. All right. Down at the bottom is the approval. The graphics. Okay, just double check on graphics. That's the graphics that we're going to be putting on the lockers. Okay, so they will be going on to spruce them up a little bit and bring Doc into the mix. All right, next, please. Quick overview of the lockers since we've had them in August. You can see the top is by month of how many lockers. The green is what's been loaded into lockers, and the blue is what's been picked up by people. So you can see pretty quick turnaround. On the right-hand side, the green it's a breakdown of when people pick them up. The green on the right is same day. The blue is within a day. And then the small green is 3 or more days. All right, so you can see the majority of people are picking them up. And down at the bottom, what you can see is the time frames. So you can see our noon to 3 is our peak time. That mirrors the lobby hours. If you don't want to be in a line, come outside of noon to 3, come outside of the hours that you see up there. All right. So that gives you a little bit of a feel of what's going on. We had an unexpected, well, we didn't expect the volume to go up nearly as much as it did. We had hoped to have all the lockers in place by startup. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. So that's created some of the extra and excess pickups that had to be done at the office. So as we're moving forward with that, there should be less and less issues with that. Next slide. All right, I already went over it, but just keep in mind and please tell others. When you get the carrier message, your package is not ready for pickup until you get a TU email that says it'll be at this locker, that locker, the counter. Do not come looking for your package because we have people that are standing in line. They haven't even gotten the email, which means their package hasn't been processed by us. And that's more people in line. And people are frustrated when they get up there and say, did you get an email? No. So wait for that email. Okay, it's really important. And if you want to avoid the lines, 11:30 to 2, 3 o'clock, you don't want to come in. The other thing that we need you to keep in mind, there is a certain amount of packages that we don't know who they go to. Some of the biggest things that we see, the top piece is how you should be addressing your packages, unless it's one of the ones on the bottom, and I'll talk about that in a second. But most of your packages, you want your first name and last name, full name that the university has. All right. The building name and your room number. Make sure you know your room number. 8000 York Road. What we see is John at West Village, 8000 York Road. I don't know who John is, because there's probably 100 Johns. You've got to put your full name on there. We've had some that have been addressed to student, thinking they're sort of being funny, I guess. We had a parent who was furious that their child didn't get their package. when they thought they should. It was addressed to the nickname that they use for their son. We don't know who that is, or there's no room numbers on there. We can have multiple people with the same name in the same buildings. Help us to help you. Make sure that you address things properly. All right? We have a lot of people, not a lot, but enough, that will send things to 800 York Road. That is a bank up in town. And they get the packages and they just set them to the side. Sometimes they call us, sometimes they don't. Because technically that's where it should be addressed to. So make sure that last zero is on your packages. Next day, express, perishables, hazmat, medicines, things like that that are really critical that you get right away. You want to set that service up with your carrier, and you want to address it as it's shown in the bottom part, first name, last name. You're going to use Towson University. Do not use 8,000 York Road. All right, because that's then going to push it through us. And if it's one of those items, we're going to refuse it because we know it's critical. We know you want it quickly. You paid extra money for it, okay? Or it's perishable and it can't be sitting around. Then you're going to put your specific building name on there, your building address and your room number. So I don't know what the addresses are, but like 127 Marshall, whatever the address is there, and then your room number. And then the Towson, Maryland. You need to make sure that you include your phone number in the instructions for the carrier and make sure you're going to be available to get it, because that carrier is going to end up calling you and saying, I've got a package for you. And you need to be able to go meet them to get your package. We will not accept it in postal services. Housing will not accept it for the same reason. So they're going to get turned away if you don't address them properly and you don't make yourself available to get them. Okay? Next. And I talked on this a little bit, Amazon lockers. I'm coming in to 3 locations. Watch your emails and to you today for when they come in. Keep your fingers crossed and we'll get a date from them soon. And have them in for the start of the spring semester if all goes well. Okay, that's it. That was it. All right, thank you for your time. You already.
Director Campbell.
Hello. I have a question about the 24-hour lockers,
Outside lockers?
outside lockers inside of the garage. So since those are 24 hours, what are we going to do to ensure safety to the student body? Because since that is 24 hours, you know, people can just walk in there and try to grab their packages, and like, I don't know if there's like safety precautions with that being 24 hours.
Well, the packages are actually, obviously you have to have the code to get to the package. If you haven't seen where the lockers are, go in there and you'll see them. They're on the right-hand side, so you don't have to go behind anything. The lockers themselves are all lit. They're in a lit area. There's actually an emergency phone that's like right next to where those lockers are, and there's a police camera that's in that area. Like anything, use good judgment when you're going. I personally wouldn't really go much of anywhere at 2 o'clock in the morning. But use good judgment. The other thing we're going to do is that we will have 2 to 3 parallel spaces. Not that everybody drives, but we'll have a couple parallel spaces that are right there at the locker. So if you get big stuff or whatever, you'll be able to pull up there, jump out of your car, go get your package, and put it back in your car if you are driving. On that note, for having large things, heavy things, if you get stuff like that delivered, go to the front desk and ask them. We have carts and hand trucks and stuff that we'll let you use. You just need to leave your ID. So if you need that to move something across campus, you can do that as well.
I had a second question. My second question was, since you guys are thinking about installing Amazon packages, is that open to the public? Because I know like we can get them sent to like Whole Foods and stuff currently, but right now, if you do install these Amazon packages, are these only accessible to students on campus or to the public around us?
Technically, they're accessible to the public because they are Amazon lockers. Amazon's open to the entire world, basically. So yes, they are technically open to the public. Do we expect a lot of the public to use them? Probably not, because where they're located and stuff, most people, it's not gonna be an easy thing for them to find, but yes, they are open to the public. Mhm.
Deputy Chief Justice Melania. Here, pass it to Mike, please.
Hello, so you guys do take care of Safe Ride, correct?
Take care of what?
Safe Ride.
Yes,
Okay, so my question is, how many Safe Rides run a day?
so Safe Ride, what that does is it only runs on campus. And it runs when we're not running a regular route. So we run regular circular routes until 2 a.m. I got it right? Well, right, but the regular routes run until 2 a.m. And then Safe Ride comes into play 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. And what that does is it becomes an on-call service. So we don't run routes anymore. Any place we can get a vehicle. If you want to get picked up at Glen Housing, you will call Safe, which actually goes to the police department. They take the calls. They have radios for our drivers. And they will call out to the driver and say somebody's at Glen and wants to go down to Marshall. So you will stay there and they will actually come right to the Glen and they'll pick you up and they'll take you right to Marshall. And we actually run that through a vendor, which is Connect Buses. They're the white and red lettered buses. That's who runs those. If for some reason Connect they can't get them, they're not there, whatever. Part of the reason we go through the police department is that they can sort of serve as a backup if need be, hey, something, whatever is not going, then the police, if need be, will do an escort.
So my question specifically was, how many Safe Rides run from 2 a.m. to 7 a.m.?
Only one bus runs. We have very little demand for it. So one bus handles it.
So my question about that is, so the size of Safe Rides, like the Connect Bus in general, I think it only seats about 10 people.
Roughly.
So I've seen, like for me personally, I've been on Safe Ride like the past 2 weeks, and I would say like the whole bus is filled. Like obviously it's a safety hazard because I don't believe it has the thing to hold with the railing to hold on the top.
Right. Those
So, like,
buses you can't stand on.
Yeah, so is there gonna be a plan to increase Safe Rides, I should say?
Offhand work, but I actually have Stephanie Ballum as our associate director that oversees that. So one of the things I'm sure she's taking notes on is to see where, if that's something we're seeing on a regular basis, that there's not enough space. The numbers that we're getting is we don't have many people that are riding. What time were you riding and where were you going to and from and stuff?
So, I can't remember the exact time, but it was probably like right when it started, like 2 a.m., I would say. And, just West Village, or no, I was coming from Mule to West Village.
Okay, because one of the things that we do look at, because at one point we were starting Safe Ride at midnight, because we hadn't seen a whole lot of ridership on the regular route after that. And it's like, okay, let's not spend the money, the fuel and everything. Let's go to Safe Ride. Well, from year to year, things change. And we saw more and more people doing Safe Rides, so we bumped it up and continued the regular route until 2 o'clock, and then started Safe Rides. So one of the things Stephanie will look at is to see if it was an anomaly on occasion, or is that something we're seeing routinely? So I appreciate you bringing that
Of
up.
course. So just one last question, follow-up question. So, not regarding like the popularity of Safe Ride, but let's say, because I know they do take their breaks, like I think they stop at Union Bus Stop and they take a break. So if there's only one Safe Ride running, let's say someone needs help while their Safe Ride person or whatever is on their break, like how would that work?
Most of the drivers, they take short breaks. And that again is part of being through the police department. If they are to let the police department know, I'm gonna be on lunch or I'm gonna be out of the bus for the next 10 minutes. So that if somebody calls during that time, the police dispatcher can say, hey, they're on break right now, they'll be back on in 10 minutes. So wait where it's safe and we'll give them the call and then they'll come to your location.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Attorney General Jello. 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 Attorney Gener
Hi, so I just had a few questions. One of them regarding accessibility. So now that all the packages come to the union, this kind of, I guess, is more of an impact to people like who have disabilities and they can't carry a huge package from the union back to their room. So what like measures are being put in place to make things more accessible for those individuals?
Okay, good question. There's a couple of different things that come into play. One, we have individuals that may be in wheelchairs. They go through, anybody that has an accessibility concern or issue should be contacting ADS, Accessibility Disability Services. Okay, that's our campus office, campus department that handles whether it be postage stuff, shuttle stuff, classroom, whatever. They're our local experts that know what all the laws are, knows what's available and everything else. They should start with them. Couple options we have, if somebody can't get into high lockers, we can code their account that says we need to keep things in low lockers for them, all right? If somebody has something that's heavy or whatever that they cannot get because of a disability or an accessibility issue, I said, we have carts, we have hand trucks. If somebody, once they go through ADS, they say, look, this person on occasion has something really big, we will work with them and make arrangements to at least get it to the building like we did in the past for some of the buildings. So I can't answer every question. That's why you go through ADS. And then they make sure there's a consistent approach and everything to everybody. So there is options for that. Anybody that's in that scenario, please let them know, contact ADS. Okay.
And then what about for people who do pay that extra premium housing fee in West Village? And I know that was like included in the fees that they get their packages sent directly to their residence hall.
Package delivery is not part of what you do or don't pay for housing. Okay, so in the past, West Village got deliveries because most of the buildings down there have desk. North side of campus does not have any desk. So we didn't have anybody to deliver to. So that is not part of what goes with the housing ends of things. It was certainly a nice perk if you were in the West Village, but not everybody was there. So.
Okay, and then my next question is about the West Village route. So I know that stops on Thursdays and then on Friday, it's only the Gold route and it comes every 30 minutes. I just wanted to know why the West Village route doesn't run throughout the week consistently and why it takes a lot longer. Because I know there's some people who like live in West Village and have class in like math or science complex and they can't get to class on time.
Well, we do run on a regular basis. They may have to take an earlier bus. Okay, but in answer to your question, the reason we switched it on Friday is, again, we looked at ridership. It was relatively low compared to Monday through Thursday when most of the classes occur. It's your money. Shuttle is supported 100% by student fees. So as I said at the beginning, we try to efficiently and effectively run things. By switching over on Friday to a Gold route to serve the entire campus, we did not have to have as many drivers on it and run as many buses. And they were typically, when we were doing before, they were all but empty through most of the day. So that's why we made the change. We always monitor the ridership on buses. And if we see that Fridays constantly filling buses, then we'll relook at it and everything. But to run a bus for a shift is about $50,000. And that's your money. That's it. We have cut back some of the routes and we've realigned some of the routes and everything. And that's why I think that we may have been the only place on campus that didn't request a fee increase last year. And that's because of what we're doing and trying to streamline and run as efficiently as we can. But we monitor everything. If we see that that's picking up and it's not feasible for the future, we'll make the adjustments. We are here to serve you guys.
Okay, and then lastly, the shuttle app and the website consistently have like times where they're down and then people don't know when to get on the shuttle or where it stops when it's coming. So are there any measures that are going to be put in place to fix those errors?
Couple things. It is a electronic system. It's on GPS. Sometimes it doesn't connect up and then it'll reconnect. We have replaced about half of the GPS related equipment over the summer. We're in the process of working with the vendor to replace the other half of the equipment because things are going up to the 5G and different types of approaches and everything. We're also, one of the things that we had is we're short-staffed with IT people. We now have full IT people and they're able to stay on top of it a lot better. It's been probably a better part of a month or so that we haven't had anything down from a GPS ends of things. And the supervisors are working very hard to try and ensure that if we do have an issue with one of the buses, that we try not to send that one out. We send another one out that has it. So we're definitely keeping on top of that, monitoring it so that there's less downtimes on it and that it's more reliable.
Councilman Gillespie.
Now it is. There we go. First off, I just want to thank you for coming out and being just answering our questions. I know there's a lot of them, but one question is so you mentioned that you're installing more and more lockers in West Village and 10 West. West Village and 10 West already, because they had packages delivered to those dorms, they already have lockers in the building. So I was curious why the lockers already existing in the dorms aren't being utilized. Like, we're building new lockers instead of utilizing the ones inside the dorm. So I was wondering what guided that decision.
So there's a difference in the lockers. The lockers that are going into, the additional lockers going into the Union Garage, the West Village Garage, and at 10 West are Amazon lockers. They are not our lockers. So Amazon delivery carriers will go directly to those lockers, put the package in and go their way. The lockers in the housing, that requires staffing to go sort everything by 9 or 10 different housing complexes, which adds to the time frame to even get your packages ready. Then they all have to go down and be delivered. They can only be delivered one time, and we were going to each building, which was not efficient use of staffing because we lose multiple hours being able to make one delivery. Whereas with the package lockers for what goes through us, we're able to turn that around, like I said, same day, next day versus 1 to 2 days, because we take that staff that was making deliveries and we have them now processing, and instead of one delivery in a day, we're routinely throughout the day, 3-4 times a day, loading lockers as things are getting processed.
Yeah, okay, awesome. That makes sense. And I was just wondering, how are you evaluating the ease that I feel like it would experience that I've heard from students and just within, because I've worked for URG, University of Resident Government, so residents have been complaining a lot. So how are you balancing staff and postal delivery people convenience and consistency with student convenience and consistency? Because I feel like some of the changes that are being made to make things consistent for the system and the admin and the staff aren't consistent for students now. And I will say, even if the packages being delivered to West Village and 10 West isn't part of the cost of premium housing, people over the summer did not know the postal changes were coming, and so they opted into premium housing for, as I imagine Jen will mention, as disabled student rep, people with disabilities opted into premium housing, paid the extra cost because they knew that they'd get packages delivered directly to them. So will there be, website updates, will fee decrease, that kind of thing, because people opted into premium housing for packages and now they don't receive that service?
Well, I can't speak to housing and what they do and don't charge and why they charge what they do. So that's a question you'd have to ask the housing. For the convenience, we are not driven by convenience for our employees. Okay, we're driven in all of our operations, and the entire university can pretty much speak to that. Of we as a campus, we want to do the best efficient service for the students. That's why we're here. Okay, and in doing that, the more efficient use of our staff allows for more efficient processing, quicker processing of your packages, that you don't have to wait as long for them, because we're able to do that. And if we didn't make the change, one, you wouldn't have the access that you have pretty much 24/7 now. And we would have to hire more people. Like I said, we had a 31% increase in packages over last year. That's a lot of packages. We're with 5,000-6,000 more packages. So you'd have to hire more people to process them and be able to deliver them versus using the lockers that we can get them in there much quicker.
Understood. Okay, awesome. And I'll try to bring those to HRL as well. And I have one last question back to parking real fast. So you said you've seen an increase in tickets because people aren't getting permits, and so
Unfortunately,
the tickets are for parking in the wrong space or not permit parking. I've noticed there's been no tickets being given to people without a handicap placard parking in handicap spots. And so I don't need to speak for you, Jim, but my partner actually has a handicap placard, like a permanent one. And multiple times, he's taken pictures. There have been non-permit holding, and the license plates don't have the stickers or whatever for handicap parking, and so there's nowhere he can park. And it's the first floor of like West Village Garage, for example, and so that's convenient, but it doesn't matter. If you don't have a handicap placard, you can't park in those spaces. And there's not tickets being given to those students. So non-disabled students parking in regular parking are getting tickets, but when they're parking in the handicap spots, they see no tickets are being given. Now that's a convenient space to park if you don't have a permit. And so now disabled students don't have that place to park. And then the whole other issue is Towson's work vehicles are parking in the handicap spots. Like in front of Millennium, there's only 2 handicap spots, and the accessibility aisles, those are being taken by the 4-wheelers, the maintenance vehicles, and so it's a huge accessibility issue. And so obviously you can't control the actions of people, but if the fines,
unfortunately.
if you're seeing that the fines are like statistical, you've seen that they're a deterrent to parking in the wrong space, because permit numbers go up as the fines go up. And so fines go up, and then that encourages people to get permits. There needs to be an increase in fines for the people parking in the handicap spots, because there's not currently.
The two are the majority of the citations. We do write citations for people being in accessible spaces without permits and placards. We do write them for being in the access aisles. And I can tell you firsthand, I am on the top of some of the facilities list, because we're going after the TU vehicles and the gators and things like that are parked in those spaces for that very reason. So we do enforce it. We do periodically, we'll go out and do what I call meet and greets. Is when we see, we actually try, and we haven't been able to do it this semester, but we go out and we collect all the data, all the plates that are parked in accessible spaces, including those that have handicap permits, because unfortunately, there is an ilk of people that use mom and dads and grandmas plate and permit. And so we then go through, get those plates. We see whether or not we can get records on them through MVA to see, is it the student who's got the permit, or is it 90-year-old grandma? Because probably grandma's not here. Then once we get that, we see when they are attending classes, and we try to have somebody out there that, give me paperwork. And then they get a $300 fine if they can't give us the paperwork for it. So we are out there enforcing.
Yeah.
We only have 3 to 4 people that enforce 7,800 spaces, so we're not
Yeah,
everywhere
absolutely.
every time. So it is a bit of we hit some areas and then we hit other ones. So, but I'll definitely bring that up to the manager, and we'll step that up a little bit. But we are. If
I do
you
appreciate
see a particular vehicle, shoot us an email of, hey, this vehicle seems to be in this location. Here's their plate number and the time that they're then generally there, and we'll zero in on that. You see TU vehicles doing that. Now, there are some TU employees that do have handicap
Oh,
permits.
absolutely. It's more like the maintenance vehicle.
Correct.
Yeah.
But if you see that and there's no placards, no plates or anything, get the vehicle number, where it is, and what time it is. Ideally, my email's out there, people need Towson.edu, but we have UPark as well. Send us a picture. Just speak all the words, and we not only had started last year, we used to give warnings to your vehicles and ask them to comply and not park in the middle of the road and all that kind of stuff. We now have our fining now. So whoever's driving, if we do cite them, they get the fine, and if they continue doing it, it can become a personnel issue. So if you can send me that stuff, that lets us zero in and address that with their managers, if nothing else.
Absolutely, I appreciate that. So yeah, thank you. I think it's just there are measures being placed, it just need to be a bit increased to match the
Yeah,
efforts being put toward other vehicles. Thank you, I appreciate that.
Director Farmer.
Hi. So I just wanted to make sure that you are aware of this, the comment that was made by Attorney General Chalo. Universe with West Village, they do promote that you're supposed to be getting your packages in housing. I know with Capstone Management, I live in Capstone and I work for admission. That's the whole point of premium housing. One of the main points of there is to get your packages there. Now that it's not, people are kind of frustrated. I know I am, because I'm paying all that money to live over there and my packages can't be over there. That's just a comment, and just to make sure you're aware of that. And my question is, are there plans to put shuttles back to go to the uptown area? Because I know there's an influx of freshman students.
at this stage, there is not a plan to put in uptown routes. The main reason being is that last year, the Baltimore County started the free loop bus, which runs up and down York Road. They actually run more often. They run from 6 or 7 in the morning until 11:30 or 12 at night. We were running uptown from 4 in the afternoon until 11 p.m. And they run 7 days a week. So they're doing it, and they were doing it on 10 to 15 minute intervals. We were doing half-hour intervals. So it was improved service, reduced our costs, ultimately reducing your expenses. And so at this stage, we're not looking to do that because we don't want to increase the cost, and the loop provides better service.
Okay, thank you.
Coach Chair White.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To the Attorney General's point as well, it's advertised on the website about mailboxes. Mailboxes for each apartment in the lobby. Students are able to pick up their packages from community centers desk and located in the lobbies of buildings at West Village. So is there a way where that could be worked on so students are able to get what they're actually paying for when it comes to housing? So that's the first question. Then I have a second, my second question as well.
Okay, so the first question, information was put out at the tail end of last semester. It wasn't our best job of getting information out like we usually try to, no, because same decisions were made a lot closer to the end of the semester than what we'd like to, and getting confirmation of what we can get, funding and all that kind of stuff. So it was put out, but not as thoroughly as we would have liked to have seen it be put out. Housing was notified about it. The website, we will certainly get with housing and have them update their website and their information that goes out, because we've had multiple meetings with them, and I'm not sure why they didn't get to the website, but I know for us, it's staffing, it's hard to get to all that stuff and everything, but we'll definitely bring it up with them. For what you're paying for, again, I don't know if they consider that in their rate structure, so I can't really speak to that. I don't know if that's part of what their rate structure, if there is, then that's another thing that's gonna have to be addressed with housing. So I don't want to speak at a place or at a term for them and their rates.
Also, with new buildings coming up in the university, does parking have any options to add more parking on campus, maybe a new garage or something like that?
There's always the option. The reality is, it is unlikely. Long term, there is talk of the enrollment building coming down and other housing going up there. There is preliminary discussion of having some parking with that building that would be for residents. in general, we're not looking to build more parking for a couple reasons. One, we have plenty of parking, even during our peak. We now have spaces on the main campus, which we didn't in the past. And we have another 600 to 700 empty spaces most days up in the stadium. So it becomes a convenience factor, which is not everybody wants to be close to where they're parking. But again, efficiency, effectiveness, and spending your money. Anybody in here that bought a permit, paid a chunk of money for a permit. I pay a lot of money for it. My boss pays a lot more money for it. We're self-support. And what that means is all of our expenses must be paid by the users. We don't get any tuition money. We don't get any money from the state. So to build a garage when we have on average 800 to 1,000 empty spaces on campus, even at peak, to do that, one, we'd have to have the land to do it versus a building. Most buildings are coming down and new ones are going up. So it's, while they're bigger and they may draw a little bit more, we've actually seen a decrease in driving since the pandemic. So unless things really peak up that we're run out of spaces, we don't want to build another garage because your permit rates are going to skyrocket. A new garage, our last garage, we built that in West Village 10, 12 years ago. Nothing fancy about that garage. $27 million. Okay. And that money, we don't have that money. We borrow it from the state. So we all pay that bill back plus interest of our budget. Our budget is roughly $4 million of that is debt retirement on the garages. So we build another garage. We've got that much more in expenses that we all have to cover through our permit fees. So that's why we don't build another garage. That's the main reason. And we don't need it right now. Good question.
So in the interest of time to get to communications, we'll have to cut things short. If you have any more questions, you can direct them to us on the e-board, and then we can send them to our director.
Yep, I'm happy to answer any other questions you get.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Have a good night.
Public participation, student concerns. Moving to communications, Advisor Harris.
Happy Tiger Tuesday. And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Since I don't know if we're gonna make it to announcements, I'd love to take a picture with the people who are dressed up after today's meeting. You'll take the picture?
No.
Are you dressed up?
What's up?
Okay. If you can't tell, I'm a Disney adult for Halloween. So I just have two announcements. One, well, general things. I missed y'all last week. Sounds like you had a pretty quick meeting, and shout out to Chris for coming to hang out with y'all. The payroll is due Thursday at 5 o'clock, so make sure you submit your time sheets by Thursday at 5. I will do follow-up for anyone I don't have time sheets for, so make sure you're clocking in and out of your shift. And then I know that there have been a lot of financial questions recently. Habib is doing a really good job. When you're in for your office hours, please make sure you stop and introduce yourself to him. He's been doing the good work, y'all. If you get student groups who are asking questions, financial questions, please direct them either to Habib or have them email sgafinance@towson.edu. Habib manages that. I also manage that email account, and we'll respond back to the students. I yield.
Urban Operations Committee.
No, Rob's is canceled next Monday. I yield.
Rules Committee.
Meeting at 12 to 12:50. I yield.
Good evening, everybody, and happy Tiger Tuesday. Thanks for sitting back. I must say, I am very embarrassed by the actions in tonight's GA. I just want to start my communications with that. And I will be sending out email communication just to everybody, so we can make clear the purpose of why we're here in SGA, because I can assure you it's not to embarrass myself or anyone else in this room. I'm sure many of you all share my embarrassment. But happy Tiger Tuesday and happy Halloween. I don't want that to take away from the spirit of the holiday. Just a few updates for you guys. So we did one-on-ones last week in the executive branch. I want to thank our chief of staff and deputy chief of staff for helping me through those and connecting with all the members of the cabinet in each department. It's important that we get that feedback to share with what you need from us, make sure that we're staying track on all of our goals. So if you have any follow-ups from those one-on-ones, I'm happy to meet with you guys as I've been doing, and I have met with the chief of staff team and will continue to do so to make sure that we're keeping track of those. Judicial and Senate, legislative and judicial branch members, you guys should be hearing from your liaisons and pro tempore on scheduling those. Again, if you have any follow-ups for me, I'm happy to meet with you and work through any questions or concerns you have. We're also submitting a grant on behalf of the university to make some changes in the academic commons. And so I'll be serving on that grant committee. We launched that last week. There's some exciting changes to an already new and exciting space. So I'm happy to be a part of some of that work. And I also just wanted to extend my thanks and a great job to our Department of Health and Wellness for their cupping season boot camp event, and our wonderful chief of staff for organizing the breast cancer awareness walk, which had a great turnout. So yeah, keep up the great work, guys. And without further ado, can I get a drum roll, like some spooky noises, maybe? So this person's been in SGA. This is their second year. They do a lot of work to really ensure the function of SGA is carried out. They're serving in a new position without transition materials, so they're kind of, making what the position is supposed to be, and I must say they're doing it well, well enough to get this award for Member of the Week. They helped out tremendously with a number of student concerns and with the breast cancer walk. So congratulations and thank you, Director Brown. By the way, she's a Subway server character today, so she is not just casually just like that. With that, are you any questions? Yeah, you. Thank you. Treasurer Warren.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everybody. Only thing I got, budget hearing next week. If you're interested in budget committee, talk to my VP Bev, Crosby, Ryan. Any questions? What you said? Is that? He said I'm late. Any more questions? Still? Roasted.
Mr. Treasurer, I'm just asking, those, just like any other committee meetings, are public meetings, correct? Especially for senators, correct?
You talking about budget hearing?
Yes, sir.
I would like it not to be unless you are a budget committee. It's not. They can come. Yeah, they can come. All right. Any more questions? And Vivian Wilson.
Vivian Wilson, yes. It's more of like adding to that, like, if you do come, please be respectful of the fact that it is a real formal meeting. We are actually in a meeting, so please don't just come to like see what your friend is doing in there.
That's really why I said no.
Thank you.
With that, I use.
Happy Halloween, everyone. Like the costumes and happy Tiger Tuesday. Oh, okay. So first and foremost, I would like to say a very, 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 very big happy birthday to our amazing advisor, Miss Carolyn. Her birthday on Saturday. She does so much for us behind the scenes, and I just hope you know how much we appreciate you. Okay, moving on. I'm very excited to announce that we are currently working on a Know Your Rights campaign in very close collaboration with the J Board, specifically Deputy Chief Justice Olivia. Yeah, so this initiative is like very important and it empowers students with the knowledge we need about our rights as students. So stay tuned for more information about this campaign. In other good news, J Ward has a new member. Stay tuned for that person too. Okay, now I'd like to address the matter of okay, I'd like to address the matter of like respect and professionalism. There have been like incidents recently where individuals have been going through the desks of e-board members when they need items. Just want to remind everyone that the desks in the exec office are our personal desks and workspaces. So if you guys need help or anything, just let us know and we will help you. On a positive note, I'd like to take a moment to express my gratitude for everyone who's been diligently submitting their weekly reports on time. Just makes me so happy. Yeah, so I encourage each of you to continue doing so. And yeah, any questions? Okay, with that, I yield.
Chief of Staff O'Connor.
Hi all, happy Tiger Tuesday and happy Halloween. Short announcements today. Over the past weekend was the breast cancer walk. So thank you so much to everyone who came out and supported. Secondly, as President Colquitt said, one-on-ones were completed last week, and it was a pleasure to speak to each department to see the progress that you guys are making. That I yield.
I'm an academic affairs.
No report.
Department of Civic Engagement.
No report.
Department of Communication.
Hey everyone, happy Halloween. If you are going out tonight, have fun and make sure you stay safe. Just a few updates. I want to first say great job to everyone hosting the recent SJ events over the last week. Great job all in all, but specifically from a PR team standpoint, y'all have done a great job pushing our Instagram account out there, getting us more engagement and followers, and I hope we can keep it up. We posted our club of the week, which is CAB. So make sure you check out the video, tell your friends about the $200 U-Store gift card raffle, and come out to CAB's event tomorrow. And we've also had our first Omni CMS training today. So now we can start working on migrating the SGA website under the Towson domain. And yeah, any questions? You.
Department of Community Outreach.
Happy Tiger Tuesday. Okay, so today we had our first Tiger Tuesday treats tabling in the Union. It was very successful. We gave out a lot of resource lists to 100 students today, and we also had each student follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and join the group me. So that was really good. And then thank you guys who came out yesterday and helped us make our bags. Please don't forget to put that on Involved@TU. And lastly, we have another bagging event on Monday at the same time, and then another tabling next Tuesday. If you want to get some office hours, we'll send out sign-up geniuses for you guys to sign up. Any questions? Service hours for the bagging event on Monday and office hours for the tabling on Tuesday. Any questions? With that, I yield.
Department of Diversity and Inclusion.
Hi guys, so the only thing I have to say today is tomorrow or at 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. the CSD and SGA will want to collab tomorrow for Dia de los Muertos. I would really appreciate it if you all would like to come. We're going to give you information on the holiday. We have marigold flowers and also candy. Any questions? In the Union, so sorry. Second floor. Any other questions? With that, I am.
Alderman Councilman Roberts.
Right. Happy Tiger Tuesday. Happy Tiger Tuesday. Awesome. Thank you everyone that came out to Cuffing Season Boot Camp. It was a success. Everyone had a lot of fun. So again, thank you guys for supporting that event. Also, please check your email. The Health Center sent out a survey. It expires on November 18th. But if you participate in the survey, you can get a free meal voucher, a well-being swag bag, or a Bluetooth speaker. So definitely try to do that if you were selected to participate. But other than that, nothing else. Any questions? With that, I do.
Alderman Legislative Affairs.
Happy Halloween, everyone. Some people dressed up. So this Friday, there is a USM symposium on civic engagement that they are hosting at Towson. So basically, there's like a lot of important people from various universities coming to hear what we have to say about civic engagement, which is a great thing. It's an all-day event, so I think it runs from like 8:30 to 5. You don't have to go for the whole thing. If you want to just see some students talk from various universities, that is from 1:30 to 2:20 p.m. on Friday. It's going to be in Ballroom D, I believe. So it would be great to see some of you there. I will be a speaker. So I hope to see you. We had the Library Advisory Committee last Friday. They mainly discussed open access resources and how Towson can better push their researchers, as well as getting some demographics out for the library, or I'm sorry, not demographics, infographics for the library in a way that is concise and informative. So if you want any notes about the meeting that we had, please let me know. I can capture them. Last but not least, me and Senator Bendu are working on a bill together about a very interesting topic to me. I won't give too much away, but that is in the works. Any questions? Thank you.
Properties, special projects.
No report.
Alderman Marketing.
Hello, everyone. Happy Tiger Tuesday and happy Halloween as well. This last week in the Department of Marketing has been fairly busy. We got to work on a couple of potential graphics for upcoming SGA events, so be on the lookout. And also want to take the time to take a minute to also briefly speak on a post we made to honor the life of Dean Julius Chapman. He passed away recently. He's a very important figure here at TU. So if you get a chance, just please, of course, think about him and just remember what he did for the school. Thank you all. I do.
Student Services and Affairs.
Happy Tiger Tuesday.
Happy Tiger Tuesday.
And happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. Thanks, guys. Okay, so I have a few communications. I'll keep it brief. I had a meeting with the hub coordinator about the coat drive I was telling you guys about last week. So we have another meeting on Thursday, but as of right now, the tentative date is going to be November 16th. So guys, please, please, please bring some coats in if you guys have any to spare. The hub usually gives out about 30 a week and now they have none. So students on campus really need these resources. So yeah. I sent a message in the group me yesterday about street teams. So if you do have availability from the times I sent, I would really appreciate if you guys can come out because the more people that we have on campus, the more people we get to talk to, the more feedback we get, the better campus life is. And lastly, me, Pro Tempore, Grimes, and Government Operations Chair Crosby met with the Dean of Liberal Arts on Friday. So all the deans we met with are in support of our mental health bill. So that should be coming to the floor soon so you guys can see it yourself and the Senate can vote on it. And yeah, any questions? And I yield.
Organizations.
Hi, everyone. Happy Tiger Tuesday. So I have quite a bit of update for you guys. So first of all, the building the social media workshop was a really good time. I met with the business law club informally. We got to talk about a lot of things. And a lot of the student body did come and ask a lot of questions about their businesses and how to update those and get those moving. And that was really nice. We have a we have a Canva 101 workshop coming up, which will be presented by the Student Activities Marketing and Graphic Person, AFCAR. So keep a lookout for that. Also today was the Tiger or Tuesday Halloween tabling. And it was a really good success. You guys saw your pumpkins on the display and the decorations, and the student worked as well. And the winner of that was the winner of the costume contest was the cosplay club. It was really cute. They made the costume from scratch and it was amazing. So they're gonna be winning $50 to their general account. And yeah, any questions? With that, I mute.
Department of Student Development.
No report.
Military representative.
If you see me and you're trying to say what's up. Okay, thank you, y'all. Tiger Tuesday got more than I did, that's what's up. And also I got notes this time, I'm structured. So the first thing is there's a feminine products drive. From the health center, there's a box in the military veteran center. If you don't know where that is, psychology building. Go straight past Allen Pond to the right, there's an American flag. So if you got some stuff, drop it off. If you don't got some, buy some stuff to drop it off. Okay, thank you. The next thing is that the Veterans Day celebration / resource fair is coming up November 10th. And the volunteers, I'm coming back to you. We're gonna need like it's an all-day event, so we're gonna need a lot of different volunteers, like setup, welcoming people in, helping people find the union, and there's a little like voting poll thing. So I'm gonna send out like what's it called? A Microsoft Forms? Is that what it's called? No, it's not Google Docs no more. Microsoft Forms. I'm gonna send out one of those sheets with just fill it out with your email, and I'm gonna send you an email if you want to volunteer. And also, my boss said that like it's gonna extend beyond just like SGA, like maybe even like fraternal people. Yeah. I don't know the word for it. Fraternities and sororities, they can volunteer as well. Bagels with Becca, right? A lot of people came in to meet the new assistant director. And the good news is that 50% of people that came were brand new to the Military Veteran Center. And if you guys don't know, veterans are non-traditional students, so they like to stay home. So getting new people in is amazing. There's a tailgate coming up, the Military Appreciation Game, football game, November 18th. If you guys have veteran family members or active duty veteran family members, send them an email to my boss, Dario. Chill, no, not there yet. Sending it to my boss, Dario, they can get a free ticket. And also the tailgate, you can pop out, there's food. And if you're above 21, there is a drink voucher. That is $5. Shout out to Anthony Studio. Any questions? Okay, with that I yield. Shout out Mama Coco! Yeah!
I agree with you.
Athletic Affairs Representative. Disability Representative. Greek Life Representative.
Everybody, happy Tiger Tuesday.
Happy Tiger Tuesday.
So just a couple updates from Fraternity Sorority Life community. First thing is congratulations to Kappa Delta for their new 5 initiates this past Sunday. Couple things that are happening throughout the month of October or month of November, leading into the end of October. Zeta Beta Tau is having their Green Light Go event at Tiger Plaza. It's Friday, November 3rd, from 12 to 4 p.m. There's a bunch of activities, a bunch of stuff that they're having over at Tiger Plaza. So if you get a chance, go check that out. Alpha Kev Alpha and Alpha Phi Alpha are having their family feud tomorrow, November 1st at 7:08 p.m. in LA for 110. The entire is casual wear. So go check that out. Delta Sigma Theta and Phi Beta Sigma are having a Barbie movie watch and discuss tomorrow as well in University Union 324 at 6 p.m. Attire is also casual wear. And then lastly, Phi Mu Alpha is having a Movember event in the University Union Ballroom D at 7:30, November 20th.
There will be trivia, food trivia, and a panel of men's mental health and physical health. Admission is $5. Advanced levels have already started, but will close on November 11th. All proceeds will go to the November organization. Are there any questions? With that, I yield. University Residence Government Representative.
Hello, hi, happy Tiger Tuesday.
Happy Tiger Tuesday.
Full disclosure, after this, I have another GA, so I'm piecing out after my update. But, so basically, as you might know, if whoever in the room is working on the, survey, our packages survey is going well. It's pretty relevant to the guest speaker we just had, but, NRHH, URG, and SGA are working on creating a collaborative, survey that'll go out to residents. We're hoping to combine funding so we can raffle off dining dollar vouchers to people who randomly selected students who fill out the survey. Survey has not gone out yet, but Lizzie Martin, who is the housing and residence side person that we had to go through to get the survey approved, she's happy with a good majority of the survey. Some of the questions are being tweaked just a little bit for convenience and for clarity's sake. And obviously some things might change with the installation of the new lockers, but I don't think much will. So hopefully you'll be seeing that soon in your inboxes. And so that's it on that. For the our hub donation drive, I know I mentioned it 2 weeks ago that we were trying to do a donation drive to the hub, food share and Tiger Threads. That's going well. We actually have received emails back, so I appreciate the information on the possible people to donate to, but the hub has actually gotten back to us, and so our donation drive is in the works. We're trying to get details for that figured out, but should be towards the middle of November that will be happening. So very exciting. URG submitted a bid recently for CUCUR, which is the regional Central Atlantic regional institution for residence halls, and so we submitted a bid for our URG Carnival as program of the year. So hopefully we win that. So that would be something that it's similar to the school of the year bid that we wrote and won on the regional level for Towson. So Towson, if you guys don't know, was recognized as school of the year last year for the bid we submitted. Pardon me, I don't know the date, but coming up soon is our Friendsgiving event. So if you guys could on the URG's Instagram, if you don't already follow, please do. We have our flyer for Friendsgiving. It's just a big, fun, free Thanksgiving event for students. Get free food, meet new people, and basically just a big Thanksgiving dinner, but before Thanksgiving because we're not here on Thanksgiving. And my last update is just kind of adding on to what President Colquitt mentioned about the behavior during the GA. This was during our speaker. I just believe, I understand we all have personal experiences and we have different things regarding accessibility and disability, but I would like us to remember who here Representative Jim, our disabled students representative, walked out because we kept talking about accessibility issues, asking questions regarding accessibility, and our disabled students rep did not get to speak on those issues or ask those questions. And so I fully acknowledge that I also asked questions about accessibility. People are able to do that, but I want to make sure that we also give time to the people who those questions are being asked. I want to make sure that the representatives regarding those issues get to also ask those questions. And so I just ask that maybe we, I don't know, like focus on the structure of how we're asking questions and just making sure that the people who that everyone gets to speak and that they know ahead of time they're not going to get to speak. It just, people with relevant knowledge were not able to speak or ask questions to our guest speaker. So I just want to bring that to y'all's attention. Any questions? Thank you.
First generation representative.
Happy Halloween, everyone. Okay, so a little bit of a long report today, because FAFSA week is next week and everything was finalized today. So bear with me, but there's an event every day. So starting Monday, we're gonna have a tabling in the Union on the second floor. It's gonna be like a chat and show. You're gonna be able to meet me and people from SFP, talk about first gen, talk about FAFSA, and then kind of giving information about the rest of the week. On Tuesday, there's gonna be a how to pay for school day with informational sessions from financial aid and then also a Jeopardy session. Wednesday is National Gen 1 Day, so SSP will be having a resource festival in the ballrooms with a lot of different sponsors like the Career Center, the Health Center.
Excuse me, point of order real quick. Can y'all please stop talking? Thank you.
Okay. And a lot of other sponsors will be there. This is also gonna be an opportunity for everyone to volunteer to help with the event. I'm gonna be sending out a sign up genius and Justice or Director Battle's email on Monday. On Thursday, there's gonna be a Gen 1 panel from 4 to 5 in 322 with staff, alum, and students who are all first gen, and they're gonna be able to talk about their experiences as first gen identifying people. And then also after that, there's gonna be a dodgeball game in Burdick. And then finally on Friday in the SSP office, which is also the CSD office, if you didn't know, there'll be a banner signing and then like also a little like sip and paint thing from 11 to 2. And then all of these events will have food if that's an incentive to come. And then also another incentive is going to be a big giveaway at the end of the week based on like if you come the most days. I think that's how we're doing it. And yeah, any questions about any of the events?
On the dodgeball game.
It's on Thursday from 7 to 10 in Burdick.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, right.
What?
Is it PM?
Oh, yeah, 7 p.m. like after the panel. Yeah. After that, they talk about
Do you need any additional flyers for the multiple events over the next week?
Yeah, I think they should be on your basement, or I'll talk to you, but yeah, they should be, yeah. Any other questions? Okay, with that idea.
Forest Love, Council Representative,
No report.
Kansas Student Representative.
Hey guys, so the only update that we have for this week is that we have an event coming up with in collaboration with ISA. It's Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? We will be giving out prizes to some winners. So come on out. And that event is on November 9th at 7 p.m. And the location will be dropping via our flyer. So just stay tuned for that. I feel.
Council Representative.
Hello, happy Halloween, everyone. We are working on a collaboration with the Department of Community Outreach, and we're also working on a game night for everyone on December 1st. And finally, we accepted 2 new members this past Thursday.
We take it Tuesday. And happy Halloween. I'd like to see everybody in a costume, including myself. All right, so SGA is hosting a get to know you. SGA is hosting a get to know you dinner with President Ginsburg on Thursday, December 7th. This will correspond with pre-meeting, but it will be extended to 7 p.m. You will receive an RSVP link from me soon, so be sure to reply to that ASAP, most of by like November 17th at the latest. If you cannot attend the event, or if you have to leave early, since of course it's during pre-meeting time, we don't know what's after 6 p.m. what you have to do. Let me know. It'll be a mark. It'll like be a spot in the RSVP link to let me know you have to leave early in that. President Copeland and I met with Dr. Hurt today, where we talked about updates regarding Aaron Martin, the Green Office, and some other things in regards to student concerns and other stuff going on the campus. But yeah, that went nice. Always good to meet with Dr. Hurt, good guy. But yeah, are there any opinions of the court?
Yes, so we do have one new associate justice member, and that is all.
Are there any announcements? Director Edwards.
Last thing, the menstrual health product drive is also in the SGA office as well throughout the whole month of November, if you guys have any extra stuff to give.
Director Brown.
Yeah, guys, please, if you have availability, just let me know. You get a cool shirt, so if that's an incentive. And it's office hours.
Could you like elaborate on that?
What street team is?
Yeah, no, like, you just said get free shirts. You like,
Oh, street team.
Yeah.
The message that's in the group me, I can explain. Okay, street team, basically, we're going around campus and serving students, especially places where, you know, you typically don't see those students, like the science complex, York Road, like those students. Never mind. Those students, because I feel like we don't see them as much as we see the liberal arts students, because they're closer to Union, just things like that. So just serving those students to see what campus life is like and how we can better assist them. So yeah, just text me on Cookie, guys. Thank you.
Vice President Bell.
Sorry, I forgot to mention one thing. At the end of the day, can you please put your name, please, inside the box? I think it's in that corner over there. So yeah, if you do that for me, that'll be a lot. I gotta log out and stuff back into the office. Thank you for that.
Director Battle.
If you are dressed up, please stay after for a boomerang. Thank you.
Government Operations Chair Crosby.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Appropriations Chair White. All those in favor? All those opposed? Abstaining? With that, the meeting is adjourned.